Welcome back to the Cobargo IT 2026 PI Law Technology Series. I'm Amelia Perro. Today we're talking about something that directly impacts your intake numbers every single day: voice and communication technology. How PI firms are using cloud VoIP, AI receptionists, SMS, and transcription tools to capture more leads, serve clients better, and document everything automatically. Back with me is Yuval Gorin from Cobargo IT. Hi, Yuval. Welcome back. Yuval, let's start with the basic problem this section addresses. How big a problem is miscommunications for PI firms? Paint a picture for us.
Hey Amelia, nice to be joining you again. Sorry I was distracted for a second there. Um, yeah, it's massive. Think about the economics of a PI intake for a moment. A PI firm might spend two to $5,000 in marketing to generate a single qualified lead. If that call goes to voicemail or gets picked up by a distracted receptionist who doesn't capture the right information, or comes in at 7 p.m. on a Friday and nobody hears it until Monday morning, that's two to $5,000 in the trash. And it's not just the cost of the lost lead, it's the case value. A single PI case can generate anywhere from a few thousand to hundreds of thousands of dollars in contingency fees. Losing that case to voicemail is a business problem, not just an operational annoyance. The reference The research consistently shows that the first firm to respond to a PI lead wins a disproportionate share of those cases. So speed to lead is everything in PI intake. And yet most mid-sized firms are still relying on a receptionist who works 9 to 5, takes lunch breaks, handles 20 other responsibilities besides answering the phone.
So, what's the solution? Walk us through what a modern communication stack looks like for a PI firm.
Well, let's build it layer by layer. The foundation is Cloud VoIP, platform like RingCentral, Zoom Phone, Team Phone, 8x8 that replaces your old phone system. Cloud VoIP gives you call routing, voicemail to email, mobile apps so attorneys and staff can take calls from anywhere, call recordings, and most importantly, analytics. And critically, direct integration with your case management system so every call is automatically logged. On top of that, you add SMS capability. Clients today prefer to text. Platforms like Clio Grow or Twilio give you two-way secure texting, right? It's automated appointment reminders and even e-signatures via text for retainer agreements. So, response rates on SMS are dramatically higher than email. If you're not texting your clients, you're communicating on their second favorite channel. Then you add the AI layer. So AI voice assistants and receptionists, platforms like Smith AI, Dialpad AI, Speed AI, they handle intake 24/7. They ask the right PI questions. What happened? When? What are your injuries? Do you have insurance? Right? This is how we build a system. We configure it to ask the right questions. They score the lead, sync the notes into your CMS, and route the hot ones to a human immediately. The rest get a scheduled callback. And finally, transcription, tools like Otter AI or Zoom's transcription that are built in convert every meeting and call into a searchable text that flows directly into case notes. No more, I forgot what the client said in that call 3 weeks ago.
You mentioned Smith AI as a AI receptionist. How does that actually work in practice? Is a PI client really okay talking to an AI when they've just been in an accident?
This is the question I get most often. And the answer is a little more nuanced than you'd expect. First, the best AI reception platforms, Smith AI, being a good example, use a hybrid model. It's not just a robot answering every call. It's AI handling the intake process with human agents available to step in when the conversation gets more complex or even emotional. A client in distress after an accident gets a warm, responsive experience. They often can't tell the difference. Secondly, the framing matters. The AI isn't trying to be a lawyer. It's doing intake, gathering information, showing empathy, setting expectations. I'm going to take some information from you. An attorney will call you back within the hour. That's a promise that can be kept because the intake happens automatically and the case is already in the system with a follow-up task assigned. Third, and this is data driven, client satisfaction scores for AI-assisted intake are actually comparable to human-only intake in many studies because consistency matters. Every caller gets the same quality of intake conversation, the same information is captured, and they're giving them the same next steps. No receptionist who's having a bad day, no information missed because someone was juggling three things at once. The client gets empathy and their information is recorded. I want to add one more thing that's important. States are coming out with legislation. You're going to need to be able to let your prospective client know that they're talking to AI. It really depends on the legislation, but you have to be ready for that, and you need to allow them to opt out as well. So again, a nuanced answer, but AI voice agents are a real thing that works.
What about virtual fax? That feels like a legacy technology. Is that still relevant?
Well, unfortunately, yes. And this drives me a little crazy, but medical records and court documents in legal and in healthcare still travel by fax or a remarkable degree. It's baked into the workflows of hospitals, insurance companies, and the courts. So you can't unilaterally opt out. But the difference is between fax as a physical machine in your office versus a virtual fax as a cloud service. That's what's important here. Platforms like eFax, RingCentral Fax, Zoom give you HIPAA compliant encrypted digital faxing that you access through email or a web interface. So no physical machine, no phone line, no thermal paper, no someone has to walk to the fax room to retrieve a fax. Faxes come in as PDFs, get filled automatically, and are searchable. Look, it's not glamorous, but not glamorous and works is sometimes that's the right answer in technology.
All right. So if a firm is starting from scratch on modernizing their communications, where do they begin?
Start with your phone system because everything else builds on it. If you're on a legacy PBX or a basic VoIP system without integration capabilities, that's your first move. Get on a platform that has CMS or CRM and whatever platform you're using, integration, right? It needs call recording, it needs mobile apps, it needs transcription. Once a phone system is clean, add SMS capabilities, especially for client communications and appointment reminders. The client experience improvement is immediate and drastic, and this is really foundational. Then you can evaluate AI assisted intake, run a 30-day pilot, compare your lead to consult conversion rate before and after. The ROI usually becomes obvious within the first month. And throughout all of this, make sure everything is HIPAA compliant. You're handling medical information in PI cases, PHI, which means your communications platforms need business associate agreements, BAAs, with your vendors, your CMS vendor as well. That's not optional. Any platform that can provide a BAA is not appropriate for BI work. Let me say that again. It will not be appropriate for any client-side work. You must have a BAA.
Yeah, that's really practical guidance. All right, in our next episode, we get into the AI applications themselves, the specific tools PI firms are using for document drafting, legal research, intake automation, and what the actual ROI numbers look like. Don't miss it.